and we're going to also start recording. So, hey, guys, here we are on Sunday, the day before Labor Day.
Yep, happy Labor Day, everybody.
You know?
Yeah, we're going to talk
Celebrate.
about some labor issues here today, and
First labor issues.
First off, yeah,
on Labor Day.
I'd like to say, these, this tow thing is just ridiculous. There's a lot of money being thrown around and a lot of words being said that are untrue. But today, we're going to talk more about
Asphalt.
Asphalt. So
I'm tired of the towing issue. I keep seeing it over and over, and people are getting tired of it.
They're YouTube commercials
real
now.
Big time. Yeah. Oh,
They're
yeah.
YouTube commercials.
There's just so much better things we need to talk about.
5 seconds.
So we have two presidents or whatever owners of companies saying, we don't need the money, we don't need the contracts. But they keep throwing out lots of money to get these contracts.
Well, if you didn't need the contracts, you wouldn't waste the time creating an RFP.
That's right.
Because those things don't just come up overnight.
Right.
It takes a couple of days, if not a week, to work on one.
So just remember that, folks, when you go out there to vote.
You know,
who's getting the money?
And why?
Not me. But I told them I'd run as a write-in if they wanna. If JT Crover or Al's want to send me some money.
Oh my God.
I'll do it, man. You know, hey, I'm easy. You know.
Yeah, you are.
But anyways, we have Kathy Carroll here today.
Yep.
My buddy Chris Fernandez, and I'm Martin Juilliard, by the way. And this is Taylor Uncovered, and we're going to uncover some stuff right now.
Well, I'm sure people know I was here last time, and I talked about a violation against Al's Asphalt's plea agreement. Okay, and that's all it was about. Now, the next, and I had mentioned that there'll be 2 other letters going out. One of them is going to be to HUD. That's what I'm working on right now. I don't have it all finalized to go, but, I wanted to do this podcast ahead of time because there's some information that comes up that just kind of like blows my mind. And
mine, too.
Yeah, mine was perplexed.
Yeah. So you're all hearing it. They're all hearing it. So this job, the CBDB job that Al's got, and it was kind of a rush through thing before he couldn't bid on any more.
What is
projects.
CBDB?
Yeah, I'll say what is CBDB?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
It's a federally funded project for low to moderate income families, and they do quite a few things for them for their grants, and one of them is infrastructure. Okay. And infrastructure seems to be the highlight of the program because there's so much money dumped into infrastructure, doing roads and things.
Mm-hmm. But we could use that money for a lot of other things, correct?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But I want to just kind of go through this thing because what happened was they put it out for bid. And then what came back were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bids. Al's was the lowest at $273,769. Okay.
Actually, let me see that real quick.
This one.
Yeah.
That was the low bid.
Okay.
And they have the breakdown of all the bids on there. That what it was, and I'll be putting this out on the web on my page when it's done.
Yep.
Anyway, so Al's came in at $273,769. So when this was presented in front of council. What they added was $219,000. They wanted to add some extra roads, so they brought it to $467,285. Now that's not allowed to do that.
So they changed the bid,
amount of the bid,
which is bad.
It's bad. It's very unethical, and especially when you work with federal funds because they just don't allow it. You cannot. Everything has to be accounted for. And you're breaking regulations. It's breaking regulations, yeah, because after the bids were open and before the contract was signed, you added on an insurmountable amount of money, not just a couple $1,000. So what happens is the other bidders who were involved in it weren't privy to that.
Right.
Gotcha.
And the other second low bidder was only like 280,000, not that much difference. So
Yeah.
maybe if the other bidders were given the opportunity to rebid, it could have been a different, easily
Well,
could have been a
that's-
different outcome.
That's where the scam or whatever you want to call it comes in.
That's where you're not following, the guidelines that.
So, well, this bidding. So that bid, they came in at what, 273? You said
Yeah.
up front. That was, and then here's the more messed up part. So you're saying is they came in, they won the bid that night at
Yep.
273.
Yep.
That same night, they rebidded, so came back for another RFP after accepting.
They didn't. Al's Asphalt never rebid it.
Okay.
Nobody ever rebid it.
So
the
who
city
increased
just the city just added $219,000.
Okay, so it wasn't L's Asphalt. It was the city that
It's
added.
the city I
So
have
wait
a
a minute,
problem.
the city inflated, so they won a bid from a company saying, "Hey, we'll do this for 273."
Yep.
And then that same night, they took that cheap bill for 273 and chopped on another 200 and something thousand.
I don't know if it's the same night. In front of council, that's what they received, you know.
Okay.
But they did add it on. And it wasn't bid on. And that's just like, no.
So now we're
I've never heard of a consumer raising the cost of the good. You know what I mean?
No. I mean, that's just exactly
Like, I
what they
never-
did.
Oh, you're gonna sell me this bottle of water for $20? Well, here, I'll give you 40.
Well, that's
Well,
that-
see, this-
that's like JT Crova saying I'm going to do it for 145, and Area Towing is doing it for 150.
Except for Al's
Well,
was literally
They can,
contracted
and they can do it,
to do it.
and then
Well,
they can
that's-
change it later on if they want to.
That's free market.
Okay.
I mean, that's free market.
So this is what this administration does.
Well-
This is the type of things that they run. Okay, it's a what's the game with the ball, you know, and they go around with it. Oh, where's the ball at?
I don't know, Marty. I was born after 1930.
I
so.
got you.
Well,
it's all questionable.
I think what happened is that Al's Asphalt couldn't bid on any federal projects after March.
Exactly.
So what they did was
That was their.
that's why I believe it was pushed.
What caused them not to be able to bid on those contracts after that? What was it?
Well, he was found guilty.
Guilty?
Or he pled guilty. He
And
pled
his
guilty.
sentencing-
He wasn't sentenced yet. He was banned or suspended from doing any highway projects, road projects, or whatever it was on the 18th of March.
And prior to that, they gave him some contracts. Is that
March of 24. Right?
Yeah. March
Yeah.
of 24. They gave him this in February of 24, 1 month
Right.
before he couldn't do it anymore.
right?
So the problems that I have showing is that they rushed it through so fast.
So
they made a lot of mistakes.
My question is,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, he bid for 273.
Yeah,
City raised it to 4 whatever
on their own.
on their own. Did L's Asphalt then receive for a figure of $400 and something?
That's what the contract was
Was-
signed for.
So, but the money was sent to him for $400 and something.
400 and some odd thousand, 400 and whatever.
Even
it
though
was.
he only bid $273,000.
Yeah, because the
Right.
city gave him more, without any bids, no bids.
So once again,
no bid
I've
contract?
never heard of a consumer buying a bottle of water for $20,
No.
walking up to the cash register and saying, "You know what? F it.
Let me
40."
give you. Let me
give you 40.
It's kind of like that. Yeah.
So
What?
then my question is, and I'm sure you don't know, or I don't know, but why is it they get all this extra money? I mean, where does it go? What do they do? How did they?
Where'd they get it?
No, why did they get it?
Well, this is where the FOIA needs to take place.
Yeah, right.
You have to FOIA the
you
financials.
got to find out why. And
You got to
and-
FOIA the financials from the project.
So this is why we're sending this to HUD
Exactly.
to let them do their investigation.
Yes.
And that's why last week we sent it to
antitrust division in
of
Chicago.
the FBI, correct?
Yes.
Who the people that I talked to a while back, and I've sent a little information to them recently too, and usually takes a little while before they
Well,
get,
this what I sent to them, to the antitrust division, is a complete violation of Al's plea agreement. Now, Al didn't violate it; the mayor violated it. Okay, by downplaying the charges, by denying that it was bid rigging, and
Right.
it was literally bid rigging.
I mean, if you look on the site, that's
but-
exactly what it says.
Right,
And that's where you're coming from this February 6th, 2024 meeting.
yeah,
Where
well,
he's downplaying, the people are using the word bid rigging.
Yep.
But it wasn't bid rigging.
Exactly, and those are
People
the
are
exact
using the words.
charges.
But the federal government says it's bid rigging.
Well, you see, the people who charged him are using these words like bid rigging.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I assure you, people, it's not bid rigging.
But it absolutely was.
This is how our administration works.
And listen, that was.
This is why we don't need to vote him in again.
that
They're
was
saying our water's polluted, but I assure you, people, those
that
words are wild.
conversation that you
Not
just
polluted
read
water.
was the very day they added that on to get this approved. That's how he presented it.
Hey, and the only way that we're giving this to the citizens, the information to everybody, is because Kathy's done a ton of work, a ton of investigation on her own,
Yeah, you did.
and now all this comes up, and maybe they're gonna mess with your chickens again. I don't know.
Well, no,
Well, I'm
because
sure
you know
they'll
what they
do
did about my
something.
chickens? They postponed it till after the election.
You
Wasn't
know
that
it.
nice?
Oh, you gotta
know
be
it.
kidding
You
me.
know
No.
it.
You
Hey,
gotta be kidding
No,
me.
it's postponed. I talked to our
Yeah.
attorney, and they said, don't even see this until after the election, man.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
said,
Oh
you
my
got to
God.
be kidding me. And he goes,
Because
no.
they don't want this to come out during the
No,
elections. That's
absolutely
bad
not. I mean,
news.
there you go. Bad me.
So if I
Yeah.
were you, I'd be more freaking
But
nervous.
guess what? That makes me, you know what happens? I got to pay
Yeah.
more money.
Yeah.
I got to
Yeah.
keep paying over and over.
Yeah. They're
I
probably
mean-
hoping they'll just push you out by,
If you got to go to the Supreme Court to have 9 chickens with a man that's got Huntington disease that needs structure in his life, good luck with
you
that.
got like what, 3 acres, don't you, or something?
3
like that?
acres, yeah.
See, this is like when I was imagining chickens in the backyard at first. I was thinking like my backyard where it's everyone's a little closer together.
No, there's no
But
one
3
there.
acres of land.
And
You
industrial
are
buildings,
fine.
buildings all the way around us. We
Yeah.
have the armory right in back of us. Then 2
Has
industrial
anyone-
buildings.
Here's
Has anyone told these
here-
people that we're actually historically a farming community?
Right.
Do they know? Do they know about that?
So here,
We just had we had farm animals for 38 years.
Correct.
40
correct.
years now.
It's just like this gentleman behind me. He had chickens. He had a fox. He had all kinds of animals.
Yeah.
Okay. And nobody around said anything, because nobody cared.
Yeah.
We were okay with it. All the neighbors and everything were all right with it. So you have no neighbors around you.
Nope.
Nobody who would have called or
Nope.
anything.
Not one complaint.
This is because you went after the city for
Yep.
other reasons, and this is their payback.
That's what
Period.
I believe.
Simple. I don't care what anybody else says. That's what it is.
Well, and
and
plus-
that's sad because that's what our city is all about. And that's what the administration that's in there now is all about. That's why they have 6 or 7 guys running for them to be their yes guys. And they're getting paid by JT Crova and all his family members and all kinds of other people are putting money into their accounts so that they can run, and there would be nobody to fight the battle.
I'll tell you.
Nobody.
Man, money in politics makes me so sick.
Oh man,
It makes
especially
me so
this one.
sick. Plus, they ask for normal people's working, like regular, hardworking people
Right.
money. You work hard for your money, and here they are. Can I get $5? Let me get $5.
Well,
Can I get 10 bucks?
you know what? Here's the
Let
thing,
me get
though.
20
Honestly,
bucks. Can I get 20 bucks
and
off
I'm
you
gonna
guys?
go.
I need to run for office. I need
So
20
is there
bucks.
a criminal involved in helping somebody run somebody's campaign here?
No.
Oh no, there is.
Where?
There is. Willie's campaign manager was a felon.
That doesn't make it illegal to be a campaign.
Not at all. But if you're throwing out numbers and battles and all this other stuff and saying, hey, this guy wants to make this what is the city they said Garza wanted to make it a sanctuary city,
yeah.
which is ridiculous. You know, I mean, when you throw out stuff at people
Bro.
like this, the same thing they did with Butch Ramick. You know, I filed a couple complaints. And they just blew them off, but they let Eric Hall file a complaint, and they took it to the inch thing, and just to find out he really didn't do anything that was so egregious.
I'll tell you this. That's why I find it rich that one day, it was like 2 months ago, Willie was at council, and someone brought up that 287G. And Willie goes, I am so sick and tired of people dragging national politics. And, buddy,
you did it.
You did it in your campaign.
It was your.
You dragged it in. And you'll do it when it's convenient for you. But the moment it starts to turn against you, well, we can't be doing this. Come on now. I'm like, wait a minute, we can't be doing this. Like,
and all the
right.
lawsuits and everything else that are running against this city right now. It was brought in by this administration.
There's another one coming.
And there are a few more coming.
Another one
There's
coming.
a few more coming.
Can't we rent out the city media center?
Oh, you can't do nothing. See, that's what
Can't we rent that
they
out?
control. Okay, it's like Gestapo tactics. You know.
I'll go up there and try to rent out hours for us to do our show from there.
Yeah,
we'll start doing this from the media center.
Yeah, you know, it's we own it.
Well, it's
we paid for it.
Funded. Yeah, it's taxpayer funded.
And you got people.
Sure.
This Carl Zomack dude, I don't even know what he does for the city.
If you're a kid and you want to stream for Twitch, you should be able to go up to that media center and start playing your game and streaming.
But they're not.
If you want to do a YouTube show,
I've asked, and they won't. They wouldn't let me do anything there.
You should be able to rent that time out, block time out.
Yeah.
In that building, and I would understand if like the government said, hey, you know what? Every Friday from 9 a.m. till noon, this is blocked out city time.
Just like they tried to close down ChristNet. Just like they took away the thing at Heritage Park for fish and loaves. You know, it's all these things that they want to take away. Then this Zomack comes up and says, hey, this is what this mayor has done so good. He said that it had to do with the Junior League World Series. I think Dan Mazzura runs the Junior League World Series and not the mayor.
At those shows like North Korean propaganda.
And listen,
look at our glorious mayor.
Yeah, and listen. That Junior League World Series this year was on a very down. They didn't do very well at all. I looked. I watched. I didn't see people. And then he's got a list of all this other stuff that he did.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Man, you keep going off track on.
Well, that's because
he gets on them rants.
I get real upset.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm here to introduce this stuff.
Yeah.
And once I start and then I can't finish, then it's just going to get lost.
I'm going to let you finish this time. I'll let you finish.
Well,
because to me, this is really more important than towing than anything else.
No doubt about that.
I'm going to tell you why.
This is where our money's going.
Yeah, but listen, it's because of the administration's what they do. It doesn't have to do nothing with the contractors. It's how the city administration does this shit.
They added 200. Oh, here it is.
And then they hide it. And then the council people
like
don't know what the hell's going on.
Like everything else.
And you can't, but I can find things easy. I mean, do your job. Yeah. These new council people, if you don't step up to the plate and stop listening to how you're supposed to do your job and do your job alone, you'll get something accomplished. And don't let this shit happen. Because this in front of council was a joke. A joke to add money onto a contract.
Because they didn't think they would get in trouble. They didn't think they would get caught.
Okay, well, that's not the only problem. Here you got an engineer, right? He puts in a quote right here to construction observation and inspection, right? A lump sum quote of $56,000, right? That's his contract for the job, right?
Yeah.
Now, what did I say? I said construction observation. That's his pay.
They
and wait a minute. Wait a minute.
They send money, too, to him.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is what he did for $56,000 right here. That's the plan, that any 3 grader could do. This is the list of what they have to bid on.
Yeah.
But you know what's
that's
on-
what was presented to council. You're saying
This was
that's-
all presented to council at the same time. The adding of the $219,000, the engineer, the whole nine, and they
sure.
had to do this before 318. We're talking 220 now,
So
less
the-
than a
you're-
month
what you're
away.
arguing is it was a rush job.
Rush job.
It was rushed.
So,
on not
so
only
guess what's
proposal-
on? Guess what's on the bid list?
What's that?
Okay, it's construction observation. 10 days, $464, another $4,644. How do you double dip? How do you go from a lump sum of $56,000 to do a job and then add on the list for the bidders observation at $464 a day? And then he claims he's going to be there the whole time they're working? Bullshit. I'm
Well-
calling bullshit.
Well, you can call bullshit, but you got to prove it.
Well, you know what? Then I'll go stand out there in the next job that's done.
You and me
you
both.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can FOIA his time card. You can
50.
FOIA. You
Okay,
could, you
so
could
all right, then
subpoena
let's
people who are working.
okay. Let's go for that then.
But
Let's
you got to prove it.
let's
though.
go for that then.
Yeah.
Okay.
He should only get paid 10 days at $4,600 some odd dollars for inspection. That's what it says.
On that, but he was bidded. He was contracted. So that first contract you referenced the $56K.
Yeah. What
That
did he
was
make?
through this. That was through the city though. That was being paid by the city, correct?
No, CBDG funds.
I get it, but that was being distributed by the city.
Yes,
correct?
the city would distribute that
Okay.
separately from the contract.
So the secondary contract that you're speaking of, the $464
Right.
a day, that was being paid out by the contractors who were getting paid for the job, right?
Well, the contractors don't get to keep the construction fees. It's deducted from their contract. It's
Right.
included in their price, but that money goes not to Al's, it goes to the engineer.
Got you.
That's
Who
how they do
is?
it. So they don't know how many inspector days there's going to be there till the job's finished.
Who's the engineer?
Don't say the name.
Why not? It's on everything they presented. Hennessy Engineer. It's all over there.
Yeah, but the individual's name.
Oh, I'm
I
not
would
going to say that.
Don't say
No,
the individual.
it was Hennessy.
So when people when people vote against this type of stuff, okay, like the girls and that, everybody's saying you're bad, you're bad. You're
Yeah,
bad.
they voted against it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but listen, here's where, and then I dug a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
This bothers me more than anything. Okay, so every year, now this is new to me because this is why it's taken me so long to get it on the internet, because now I got to just go into a whole new research area, right?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently they put a 5-year plan together for HUD funds, and every year they put in an annual report of how those are going to be spent for that coming year. So our wonderful city, our wonderful city.
Our beautiful city.
Yeah, yeah. So it's called an annual action plan.
Okay.
And so I have 23 here and I have 24 here.
Okay.
Now this annual action plan is in a draft. Where's it at? Here we go. And it says in here, the target date is 6/30/24. Is to improve West Point Street. Okay?
Okay.
So that's in there. And the draft on this says, oh no, I think I got to go back one. Yeah, I think I got to go back one to 23 because it's 24. Sorry, folks. I'm just, like I said, it's new to me. Sorry.
We're all right. We're all right.
Okay.
I'm gonna
It
dance.
has on the 2024 action plan in a draft. Okay. It shows in here West Point and Ford Senior Center. Okay. Now, back in 2023, they were going to do a boiler for the Ford Senior Center,
Okay.
right? And that was targeted for 6/24 to be completed.
Okay.
It was never done.
Uh-oh.
So where'd the money go?
It went to Al's
How's
Asphalt.
asphalt?
It says in here
What was the cost of the boiler?
$103,000 because they just put it out for bid in 2025. So the target date is now 6/25 and not 6/24,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So they moved whatever that was and they combined it here, and it says now. This is what it was in the draft. 24 instructions and public facility improvements. And it says road improvements as well as improvements to the Ford Senior Center. Estimated 20,000 people will benefit from these infrastructure improvements. That includes the Senior Center. That was the draft.
20,000 people.
2024, 20,000. That was a draft in
That was
2024.
probably the estimate of how many elderly residents we had in the city was
Bullshit.
about 20,000. So,
Okay,
so
so
they're saying 20,000
so
residents.
now in the one that is signed by the mayor, that is sent in, the final, it went down. There's no longer senior citizen attached to infrastructure now in this one.
Okay.
The whole money that they had at $277,000 to do both is now $270,000 just for the infrastructure.
No
There's
boiler.
there's nothing here that says anything about
Bye-bye
the senior
boiler.
center. So it went down from servicing 20,000 people that included the senior center down to 3,000
Well-
people. 3,000 people just for the infrastructure. See that?
So
how many
when
people
they
are on
said-
that street?
Yeah, so they're from what they're saying is, from what I can logically gather from that, is they're saying about 3,000 people live within the area
That are the
in
roads
which
are doing.
the roads are getting resurfaced.
Yeah.
Now, when they're saying 20,000 people are going to get service from the boiler, that's probably just an estimate of, okay, well, there's 20,000 elderly residents in the city, so that means 20,000 elderly people use the senior center.
No.
And that's why.
Well, no, it doesn't. Yeah, that's probably means that, but still, what is the boiler not working? I mean, is it supposed to heat a pool? Is it supposed to heat, what is
building.
Well,
it?
if we heat
The
the
building.
To take
water
and
hot
put.
water
Well, I
and
mean,
the
you got to think
faucets
about it.
and-
Think about it. What was more important?
Well, I mean, for that
A
amount of
rush
money.
job for Al's Asphalt or the senior center boiler?
Yeah.
Which one's more important?
Well, they probably came down to the appropriation of funds, how much money was left over. Could you afford both at the time?
But
And then
why
I
give
was-
it to Al's for roads? Rush job.
Because you got to also look at, question this as well, is basically, okay, did the boiler, was it an emergency?
I'm
to
a
replace
I'm a
the boiler?
senior.
Did the boiler have
Okay, but
extended life
here's
in it to where
but
they could've
here
held it
but listen
off?
to this part though. When you have a draft made up, that's what's presented to the public for review,
For sure.
right? So if they see that in there, they think it's going to be done, right? But when you change it in July, which he signed everything in July, that's not what the people saw.
Get you.
And that's
I mean,
supposed
I
to
get-
be
I see what-
public.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Change.
Okay,
the,
so you-
change
But I
the-
would like to know why it was changed.
Change the
Where's
procurement
why?
process
Why was
again.
Why was it changed?
change
Well, I
the
don't know
amount
if
of
you
the
wanted.
bid.
I could guess lots of guesses. Do you know that Al's Asphalt had to
Yeah.
pay a fine of $764,000 by June?
Yeah.
Did you know he had to do that?
So no, I didn't know that. So
Yeah, he
okay,
did.
So, that
So,
shines a
so they
little
had to
more
throw
light.
as much over there as they can, even
Yeah.
additional $464,000 for the engineer's inspection if they don't take that out. Somebody's got to go look at it.
Yeah.
So I've been to the senior citizen several times.
So you said
And-
the Ford Center.
Yeah. And I don't think I've ever seen more than like 20, 30 people in there.
Yeah, but
I've-
the fact is
I
that
think
it
I've been
could
there once.
benefit 20,000 people in a full year. It's not just here, there. It's a full year. They got dances over there. They got things swinging up.
Yeah, for sure they do. They got tons of events going on there.
So now, what I'm
grandma
gonna,
used to go.
what I want to read is because I really want to keep this to CBDG funds,
Uh-huh.
and I don't want anybody at home to be confused.
Well, yeah, for sure.
So-
it's,
so-
'cause it's a lot. It's a spider web you're unraveling here. It's,
Well, this is what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
We're trying to put this out as clear as possible and concise and clear as possible so that the residents of the city understand what's happening behind the scenes and what's going on with our tax dollars. So they understand that, things are not as cool as, they're made out to be.
Okay, and not only that, but after this was done, it still bothers me that they didn't have an asphalt maintenance contractor between 24 and 25. They didn't. That caused those roads not to get done for those people to get pissed off.
And they made it out to be the fault of
the three women.
girls.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't their fault.
No, it wasn't.
Because they did what they did in 2024 to appease
But
Al's Asphalt.
this is how this administration works, you know, and I think we deserve a lot better. You know.
All right, so
Yeah.
I want to read this to the people at home so they understand why this looks so bad and why
this
it
is the,
really has to be looked at.
These are the regulations you're going to read, right?
Well, there are. This is just an overall something that people would understand better.
Right.
When I send it to the to HUD, I have to do this formally, you know. So this is just something that they understand. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's I just put, can a contingency be added to a bid for CBD project after bids have been opened before a contract is signed? It says no, because you know they added a contingency on that too.
That's always been there. It's always been why I wonder
But
why.
you can't do it on
Yeah.
CBDG projects.
Yeah.
You can't do it because it has to be an explanation of everything they do, and a contingency has no explanations. And I guarantee you, when they put a contingency on a project, not one of those council people go back to find out where that money was spent.
No.
They don't go back.
Nope.
They don't go back. So
Nope.
that's just free money to somebody. I don't know
Yep.
who it is. Because in a CBDB project, you
That's
have
a
to have
lot of
all
money.
your money in there. They can't add money. Can't do it.
But they continue to do it.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing with the contingency. If you put a contingency line item in a contract for a CDD project, if you put it in there, that opens you up to a subject of audit.
Right.
So why not just add it in afterwards and just shut your mouth?
Be quiet. Let's do this behind their backs.
It's not. It's not. You know, they
And
won't have to audit it.
just imagine what a lot of that money could be used for in this city. You know, I don't want to stop this and get, I want you to keep going.
Yeah, I want to just say this, okay? So it says no. A contingency amount generally cannot be added to a CDBG bid after the bid opening before the contract is signed. The competitive bidding process governed by federal procurement rules 2 CFR 203.317 to 327 requires that bids be evaluated based on offers submitted at the time of opening. Modifying a bid after opening would compromise the integrity of the process and potentially disadvantage other bidders. That's not just about contingency. That's about adding on that $219,000, okay? It's unfair practices, and it's disadvantage to the other bidders.
Oh, definitely. That's
Okay.
That's what
But
bothers
I got to
me.
keep going.
Go.
Integrity of the bidding system. The core purpose for competitive sealed bidding is to provide a fair and transparent process. Once bids are open, their contents are public. Allowing one bidder to modify their price, such as adding a contingency or any other adds, would be unfair to the other contracts who submitted their final unchanged able bids. Responsive bid requirements. To be considered for award, a bid must be responsive, meaning that it conforms to all essential terms and conditions of the invitation for bid. Changes to a bid after opening would affect its responsiveness. Okay? No miscellaneous or contingency line items. CBDG procurement regulations prohibit lump sum bids or line items that are not specifically identified, such as miscellaneous or contingency. All costs must be clearly itemized in the original submission. Exception in the original submission. Just keep thinking that. Exceptions are extremely rare and limited. The only situation in which a bid might be corrected after opening, but before award is apparent, verifiably clerical mistake, like a miscalculation of a decimal point area, the evidence of a mistake and intended bid must be clearly and convincingly established from the original bid documents themselves. Adding a new contingency amount does not fit this limited exception. You can't. There's no limited exceptions except for clerical errors. Period. Cancel and rebid. If a significant issue is discovered before the contract is awarded, and we're talking about adding on that $219,000, the most common and proper procedure is to cancel the current solicitation and rebid the project with updated specifications that include the newly identified costs. This is all federal, okay? Use of owner's contingency. The owner and grantee may set aside their own project contingency, a portion of the project budget, to address unforeseen conditions and necessary changes that arise after a contract has been signed. They could. After a contract has been signed, the grantee shows an interest modification of the change order for unconcealed interest. However, here it is. After the contract has been signed, they can issue a contract modification or change orders to address the unforeseen conditions, which applies to the contingency. However, cost analysis is still required to justify the price, and the process is subject to audit. So you wonder why they don't add the contingencies into the contract. They add it in front of council.
But it's still added to the contract.
Yeah, but you can't.
You're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Regulations keep you from doing that.
Do I got more?
You have another page. Yeah, I was just reading it.
Okay,
That's the
then.
ethics handbook.
Yeah, well, that's the ethics handbook, and it basically says the same thing. You know,
Yeah, you can't change the funds after the fact. Change the amount of the bid.
Yeah. To which they did.
giving improper or provincial treatment to any person or organization, affecting the adversity of the confidence in the public integrity of government. That was absolutely improper. By adding that on and then going and downplaying the charges to him in front of council, I'm surprised. There's only one person that didn't.
Who's that?
Tina Daniels. That's
Yeah.
my girl.
Yep.
She does her work.
Yeah.
But you know, you raise this information in front of people on council. You're just you're not going to be treated very well.
You're not going to be treated well. They're going to say you're nuts, you're crazy, stupid, whatever
Don't worry about
word
it.
they want to use. You know.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's just fine. We know what we're doing.
I would be like, well, that's why I worry.
Oh, and then another thing here is, and I'm thinking about doing this because this is really part of it. This is the Taylor's Office and Employee Standard of Conduct, right? No, we're talking about the mayor here because he's the one that did all these punches. Says preferential treatment. A city official or employee shall not use the city officials or employees' official position to unreasonably secure, request, or grant any privileges, exemptions, advantages, contracts, or preferential treatment for the city official, employee, or others from the city to any business, individual, or third party.
What does that mean?
Well, I think it was preferential treatment by adding on $219,000 to a contract without a rebid.
Right.
I
I
think
mean, the
that's
timing is sus. You're right.
the timing before he could no longer do it. He pleads guilty he's charged on the 27th of December in 23. He pleads guilty 6 days later on the 4th of January. And then they put this bid out for bid in January 13th.
And what was the charge?
What the hell? January 23rd.
What was the charge?
Well, people are using the terminology bid rigging.
But it's not bid rigging. It's not bid rigging. It's not.
bid rigging.
Oh,
But
no,
the
no.
plea
I
agreement,
assure you.
his plea agreement mentions bid rigging 11 times.
Right.
Well, no, Kathy. They're using that terminology.
Yeah, I know. And then
It's the federal government. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
don't worry about it.
And then the corporation counsel that sits there, he says it was one job, one time.
It only takes one. That's what I would.
Yeah, but it was multiple over a period of years.
I'd like to
Two
be quiet
counts,
now.
2 different co-conspirators over a period of 6 years.
If
That's
court-
not one time in one
if-
parking lot.
Before
if
you
corporate counsel told
before
me
you
then, I
vote-
was sitting up there.
before
you know,
you
and here's
vote,
the
Look
thing.
at
Listen
him and
to
go,
us.
Stop talking.
And this was done on February 20th, right? You don't think the city knew that he signed a plea agreement on the 4th? They've had this contractor since the 13th. They babied him and just did this shit for years.
It
No
seems
bid
like El's Asphalt
contracts.
has a pretty close relationship.
Yeah,
with
and you
the
don't
city
think they're going to
government,
know
so-
that he did that? And then the mayor in front of council says, I might not get the exact words, but all of this happened before or after this bid came out.
yeah.
No, it did not. He signed a plea agreement way before
Yeah.
you advertised that.
And he learned from his mistakes. He's
but
he's
he was
a better person
he
now.
freely accepted that extra
Yeah.
$219,000,
You
knowing.
know, yeah, it's true.
Knowing.
Yes. Oh, I can't, surely.
It's just a continuation of what
I
he
mean,
was
any
doing.
contractor would know you can't do that. Those other contractors, and they send out a bid form. When when the bids come in, they get the total amount that people bid for. You know what they get? They get the bid results.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They send them over to them. They see that they lost, and they go on with their business,
Hey,
not knowing there's a backdoor deal going on, adding more money.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlie Owens, these are facts, bro. So when you vote, vote correctly, or I'm going to hold people to the whole thing. Just like when they said, "Oh, he's innocent until proven guilty."
Oh, he's sellers.
Yeah, but you gotta get the information in. You gotta find this stuff
And
so you can stop it before it starts. But if you're not in a council and you don't do your job and say okay, because here's my thought. Okay, who's going to be? I think who's going to be chairman this coming? It's going to be Charlie Johnson. He's going to get the
votes.
and he's the go-to guy. He's just the go-to guy.
Period.
And here,
And
let
he's
me
been
bring
like
this up.
that in several administrations.
Yeah, here's a good thing about another federal procurement people might want to know.
What's that?
Okay, this was done, oh my God, 2015 at one point. There were some federal regulations that changed, right? So the feds wanted the cities or the state or whatever to adjust their federal regulations for procurements to follow different procedures, right?
Yep.
So, okay, where was I going? Now I just lost my train of thought.
Federal procurements.
Yeah,
Federals changed their standards.
right. So what they did was they not only changed the federal procurements in our purchasing policy, but they raised our small purchases to just about meet federal. We're at 100,000. You know what the small purchases, and I mean simple acquisitions, a couple of quotes from somebody. You can just you can pick somebody out of state and they'll have a higher quote, right? You can pick anybody. Anyways, now see, I lost my train of thought again because it just pisses me off.
Federal acquisitions.
Yeah, the federal acquisition.
They changed their standards.
They changed the standards.
And we
But
changed
what
our
they did
standards,
was
or we didn't
they
change
changed
our
our
standards.
standards from $2,000 in a small purchase up to $100,000 for a small purchase. And when they did that, Charlie Johnson, before the meeting ever started for people to say, okay, we have to change this policy,
Yeah.
puts up his hand and says, now we have to do this per mandate, correct? And they didn't even read off the item number yet. So you know what everybody did? They just looked away. They went looking on their computers. I saw the video. One lady was messing around. I almost said a bad word. With her lunch, what she was doing, pulling out a thing. And then they're talking about this stuff. I said, whoa, wait a minute. What are you guys doing here? You're changing our small purchases according to a federal. How many small purchases we have that's federal?
Yeah. Not
What
even
are we
the
buying?
county.
Federal pencils?
Not even the county is that
Federal
high.
computers?
Yeah.
It's,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why would you do that? And that's
well-
all it was about, to change that. And they all voted yes.
Yep.
And I'm thinking to myself, you dumb idiots.
What they do is they'll give a contract for $75,000, right? But then they'll leave it open to. I mean, that doesn't have to be voted on, right?
Yeah.
So then
No,
after,
it's got to be approved.
right? But then after, they can add money to that one contract.
I don't know if they can do that.
No,
I think
that's
that's
pretty illegal.
no,
but-
they
No,
can't.
no.
They can't.
Well-
Once they sign a contract, they can't do that without a change order. And this city doesn't use change orders, and that really pisses me off.
Didn't you just say that they did a contract and then afterwards they changed it?
Yeah, but that was this specific one. This was a
was-
CBDB project.
And you
The
don't
ones
think-
I'm talking about for our small purchases aren't CBDG projects.
But you don't think they've done that for a lot of things?
You have to prove it.
Yeah, you can't.
You can
just
think
can't.
all you want,
No,
but
no.
if you
I mean,
can't prove it-
there's documentation here that can prove this. To find documentation that did that, you would. I doubt they go that far. I doubt they do. But this went way over the top.
I mean, that does adding.
This was
200K,
just
basically
like
doubling
this was something.
the cost of what
I've
it was.
never seen anything
Like-
in all the years I've bid projects for 30 years, okay? And I've never, ever, and I go to bid openings and I see I've never seen anything like this, especially federal funds. You
think
got to
that's
be out of
I
your
mean,
mind.
hell, man.
You think that's the only time they did it?
I have no idea. I'm only looking at this one.
I mean, my company, we work with a lot of federal government.
So
contracts,
hopefully-
but we don't. They never gave us
I
double
just
what
want-
we
oh,
offered.
I
to
want
do it
you-
So
for.
hopefully when
What the
when
hell?
HUD looks into this,
And we got to get into Taylor.
they can look into other ones too.
They may. They'll probably do an audit on it. Find out if you're not contingency, and if a contingency is there, that you have to have it. You have to have specific things. Okay, even in a line item contract, you got to have like they added on. This was another funny thing. I'm not going up. When this went into front of our council, Geis was trying to figure it out why the money was so much higher. He just couldn't figure it out, And I said, look at the other parts of it. I'm screaming at the TV,
Well, I can't figure out why it went so much higher. I'm sitting here thinking like, well, what could have happened
Well, you
for
know
them
what?
to double the cost? Like,
Yeah.
like I said, it's just like it's driving me nuts right now because I'm like, fucking.
Well,
happened to
there's
where
kind of
they're
an
like, all right, you know what? They said 273, but F it, 460 something. Let's do it.
right, but you want
Let's go.
Let me
The
show
highest
you.
bid was 380. We can outdo that. We can outpay that.
Yeah, this thing. Where the hell?
Well,
is
you were talking about a double dip of something too from the
Engineer.
engineer.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
uh,
double dipping. They should have caught that. They should
Right.
because they went through council at the same time, but
Right.
nobody looks. They just,
So you're it's just the fact that they're doing this stuff, and they're just
So let me show you what this was, the double dipping. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know if you can see at home. Probably
Oh, they're not able to see that.
Well, this will be on this will be on the website. This is where they added the extra money to do this work at, right? So here's your regular roads marked here, right?
Yeah.
So you can see the amount of roads. Here they put in half the amount of the original roads, half the amount, right? So here they have audio video survey, $1,500 for all these roads here. They doubled it for half of it here. You see? Now, if this cost you $1,500, this should be more like $750.
right.
Okay, not $1,500. And here's a big one: traffic maintenance control. It was at $14,000. They doubled that with half the streets left to go. You see, those lump sums, he gets all that without measurement. None of that. He gets it all. Even though it's cheaper to do this. Right? Why did they do that?
Why didn't they just do it all?
No, and then the other thing is, he said, why is it so much higher for the roads? Well, some of those roads might need more undercutting, right? They raised it from 280 undercutting, which puts in a better base, which I don't think they ever do, to 500. And he goes, and he says, well, that's because there was more work that had to be done on those other streets in worse condition. Well, guess what? You already added it in the subgrade undercutting. All those costs are
That
right
should
there.
have been accounted for under the estimation.
It's just ridiculous.
Usually, when you take on a job like that, especially if you're a company, if you're a smart company, you're sending out your own evaluators to go look at to see what the job needs.
Yeah,
to be
what's
done.
the engineer's estimated cost? Was there ever one?
Well, that's what you got to find out.
I don't think there ever. This was rushed through so bad. I think even some of his plans were marked like after the bid opening. 2-1 just before the bid opening. Where did I see
Filter
that?
went from 175 to 3,500. A 225 cost went from 225 to 5,600. 225 again to 4,900. 25 to $12,000.
I guarantee
Oh,
you
that's
this.
the unit price. Never mind. I'm sorry.
I guarantee you this: the company that did my street was not Al's Asphalt, right?
No, that
And-
was the year that they
and-
didn't have a
Right.
contract.
And so I guarantee
The
you,
road's still great.
this street lasts longer than any one that Al's Asphalt did.
Well, the people don't understand, right?
Right.
That they only have a 2-year contract on their new roads. Now, I want you or anybody else or the people at home, look at the side of your road. You see any restoration? They
Right.
bring the asphalt out to the to the grass, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to tell them to go ahead and look. If you go off the side of that asphalt after a couple years, all those sides are going to fluff off.
Yep.
They're going to crack off and break off. Go down McGuire Street that they
You
did
even
a
see the
CBD.
center of them doing it.
Go down the McGuire Street where they did one, right? Now it's out of warranty now, but it wasn't when I reported it, right?
Right.
Trying to tell people,
Yeah, it's-
get this fixed before crack right down the center of it. Now they're saying, well, that's supposed to be there, so if it's gonna crack, that's the breaking point. No, it ain't.
What?
No, it ain't.
What?
That's the worst point you can have it.
They call that a control
Yeah,
joint.
that's
in
from
cracked
not putting
concrete.
your joints together properly.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to do that.
Well, you know,
It's a lot.
you get what you pay for. I don't know what to say.
What we need to do is find somebody willing to come out and inspect this stuff. You know,
would get a third-party
somebody from the
engineering firm.
from the government.
You know,
from
we
the-
have 3 engineering firms on the payroll. I don't know
Yeah,
why we
yeah,
have 3.
yeah.
I think maybe there's one for the little cuckoo stuff, and there's one for the updates, you know, the up to par stuff, you know.
Well, I think Willie's daughter works for one too.
Oh.
I do know. I do
Oh,
know.
I don't know.
No,
But I
do
don't
know.
expect to get any of this out on my site for at least another week. I'm tired. I mean, when you keep finding things and then you go, holy shit, you know.
The best thing that I could tell you to do with this information to make it digestible,
Yeah.
fully digestible, is create a timeline.
Yeah, I know. I do timelines. That's
Create a
what I did at the
timeline.
beginning. Yeah.
Create a timeline. You did. I see some of it in there when I
Yeah.
was looking at you right in here. You have a timeline.
Right.
Lay it out in a timeline because that
the
was a
only way to
lot
do
of
it.
information. It's a lot of questions. Like,
Well,
I could ask you
I-
questions, but you're not going to have the answers for them.
Well, if they ask me the questions, I can have the answers. It's just
Right.
explaining something so depth is difficult, especially when you've only seen things in the last 3 days. you know.
Making it easy to digest by
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
But you know, I'm
the
telling you,
citizens.
once you go down that rabbit hole, they got a lot of holes going off to the side.
I can
right?
tell.
Yeah, yeah.
I can
And
tell.
you got to follow every single rabbit hole. So I would say 5 days of research, I got a handful of good things out of it.
Well, hand it off to the
but
appropriate
that's what you
parties
gotta
and let
do.
them make the decision. Is there something
Yeah.
there? Is there not anything there? Was there something? Was there a reason as to why maybe it went up by
Well,
the whole price? I mean, I don't know.
I
We
don't
know. We
like.
don't have the
I
answers for
don't
that.
like the fact that you can put out a draft for your CBDG funds and where they're going, and you see clearly a boiler going to the senior center and infrastructure tied into one at $277,000.
And then one of 'em goes.
Then after the draft and they signed the real one, the amount is $277,000 still, but no senior center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is.
Well, we're gonna do some digging.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that money
You know.
allocated for them technically went to roads.
Yeah. 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 Well,
So
Well, folks, I think this was a very insightful podcast today.
yeah,
And listen, we're doing this. We're not doing this for our benefit. We're doing
Oh, God,
this because if we were, we'd be in trouble. But for the benefit of the citizens,
the people.
to know this they're
And I-
trying to fool you. And they're trying to fool you now. They don't want to talk about it now. They put all this stuff off until after the election. Okay? So that way, that's when you say, oh, I should have never voted for these people. So
Yeah, when they
we're
find
giving
out.
you.
But I mean, just take a look. Please take a look. After the CBDG project was done, he couldn't vote any for another year. Let's put aside the fact that we didn't have a contractor, right? Then he comes out and, after his secret suspension, because I really believe there was a secret suspension through the city, okay? Because he wasn't contracted for the first time since 2013. That's odd. Now, all of a sudden, for the 25-26, here comes a contract. He's in on it. They give it to him for $1 million, right?
And I can't believe that
And
happened.
2 weeks later, they add $4.4 million onto that contract.
Yep.
You didn't know he had. They wanted to be able to make sure it was just enough to get people to give him a contract. If you would have put a $6 million contract, they would have went, whoa, wait a minute now. That's a bit too much.
Yeah.
But once he has it and you get the addition, too late. too late.
And they were tough. They were tough for a minute, and then somebody gave in.
Yeah. I know
So-
who gave in. You know, I talked to that woman for 3 days in my office on the phone for umpteen hours trying to explain it to her. Oh yeah, you're right. Then the next thing I know, boom, and I went, I'm not going to say what I said. I'm not, but
Yeah.
to see it in your face and understand it and still say, And you know what I was told? But those people aren't going to get their roads. I said, bullshit. You watch. In 2 weeks, they're going to add money. And what did they do? They added money onto his contract. Yes.
Yeah, the timing
And
of
then
it.
they had to wait for more CBDG money to do anybody else's roads.
Ain't that something?
And they made them wait a year
Yep.
and blamed it on 3 women.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where I.
Come
that's where I'm like,
on.
what's going on with this?
So I
Right.
created this podcast to get the 4-legged rats and the 2-legged rats
You're going to put a W on the front of its head.
out of this city, and we're going to do it with people like her. She's put through so much time into this.
I'm
It's
telling you,
unbelievable.
I can't do it more. I can't because it's like beating yourself out of a paper bag.
Well, I bet.
And
Yeah,
they're
the
attacking her
citizens-
about some chickens.
Yeah. That's not
know?
the first lawsuit. That's the second lawsuit against us. This
Well-
all started back in 2019 when they got their illegal parking lot exposed. You know. And then what happened?
yeah.
It came right after us. And you know
Yep.
the guy from Engineer that did this whole bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
right? I said a bad word. Where's your jar?
Uh-oh.
Okay, the guy that did that bullshit, they threw him out to do a soil erosion control contract on a batch plant. He wasn't certified to handle hazardous material. He wasn't even certified to be out there to oversee that project. And what happened? Whatever his design was breached, and all this concrete and bullshit crap went right down into the
Into the
the drain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to know what happened? Zip. You want to know why?
Can you imagine?
It goes so deep, man.
Can you
It really
imagine
does.
how the birds and every animal that
Oh yeah, they walk through
drink
that
out
shit.
of that water, and it's just terrible.
It kills the aquifers in the water. It
Yeah.
kills like the frogs and the the number things. It does that. And I mean,
and this is not the first time the
oh, let me keep telling you more. Let me
Yeah.
tell you more about
Yeah.
this guy, what he did to me in that lawsuit. I was told I had to go out and get an engineered design plan to get rid of my, because I disturbed the grass. I moved the grass. There was no grass. We didn't dig. There was no grass.
Yeah.
So I had to do a drainage plan by an engineer, right?
Yeah.
So I paid $13,000 because I just wanted to do the right thing. You say we don't have a soil erosion control plan. I understand that. I thought it was because we were doing farming, but we were also screening. So that's why we didn't fit the bill. So I thought, okay, we went and paid for it, turned it into them. Okay, I took pictures of Jeff going in because I didn't trust this SOB. I took pictures of him going in and coming out, and he never got it, right? He said he never got it. But you know what he did? He took our plans that I paid for and put it in the batch plant's file
Yeah.
for them to use. Right? On the bottom of their permit is our file number.
Yeah.
And I thought, you got to be kidding me. You mean you wanted us to do their silt fence for their project? Is that what that was about? That was punishment for me for opening up my mouth. Now, I wanted to take him to court, but it's just too much money. 6 years.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah.
well,
That's disgusting. So, yeah, anyways, I probably went a little bit
Citizens
overboard,
of
but
Taylor, another great Taylor Uncovered podcast for you. And I'm looking way forward to a whole lot more stuff coming.
yeah, I
from
still
this
got
lady right here.
I still got another letter to put together for
Yep.
the Attorney General
Yep.
because I'm going that far. And then there is an ethics complaint against the mayor for doing what he did.
And I'll file that.
You can do that because I don't have the time.
I'll follow that.
You better know what the hell I'm talking about then.
I tell you schooled me
I know. I'll
many
school you
times
more.
already. So we're gonna get out of here for Chris.
Yeah,
and
Chris has got to go.
Kathy-
Thank you, Chris.
Kathy-
No
Appreciate
worries.
it.
No worries.
and myself,
coming on.
Martin Juilliard.
Yeah.
We will.
I'm still waiting for Tim to come on, by the way. I'm waiting for that phone call.
Yeah.
I think so.
He ain't coming. He
He
hey,
ain't got the nuts
Tim,
to come.
Come on, or anybody that works for the city. Dan Bazura.
Oh,
come on.
one more thing. One more thing. I'm sorry. I wanted to send this out to all of the people running for council. It is the most common procurement fraud schemes and their preliminary red flags. So that you have this. The next time a bid comes up, you can go through this and read
and you
see
can't
if there's any
say
scamming.
you didn't know.
That's right. I'm going
Okay.
to put it on my page. You can come and get it.
There it is.
See you later, folks.
Yeah.
Adios.
Thank you. We'll see you next
Adios.
time.
We'll get it.